they've been serial crushed by some huge friggin' guy.
Hey everybody, what's up? How you guys doing? Hopefully everything's all right. Okay, Mike's good. We are running late and gay. Oh, brother. Tad salty. Got a phone call from the tech people for my PC, and supposedly it's overheating, and they recommended a new PC case and some additional fans. Nothing too bad, but place where I got the PC should have tested it enough to go over that crap. So now I have to contact them and complain at them, and then they'll probably be like, well, possibly like, oh, you took it someplace, you should have sent it to us, and be like, well, I got documentation, authentic documentation. But it sounds like they've handled where I got the PC built before. So I just got to be like, no, this is what they're saying, and you guys should have tested it because you straight up said you tested it. And if you didn't test it to the extreme, that's a problem. Alrighty. But hopefully everyone's doing well. We are live on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. And you can check the other my other social media in the descriptions over on YouTube and Rumble. And then on X, you have the link tree that you can always check out over there. And of course, if you want to help the channel grow, maybe consider checking out membership tiers or subscription tiers. Nothing special between the two, just helps go towards the channel and grow. But I'm thankful that you guys are hanging out with me regardless. Yeah, so I'm a little salty. So we might be tonight might be extra hard on some topics because I am just, oh gosh, just like one thing after another. It always happens, and always weirdly around this time too. Like for the past like couple years, the demon oppression has been so rampant, and it is really pissing me off. Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer, Salty Kid, Greg, dude, I am salty. Like I just want life to leave me the fuck alone for a couple of months, for heaven's sakes. But the Lord's on my side. Got to remember that through thick and thin. All right. I wanted to read this Bounding into Comics article about X-Men 97. So it's a review, so, you know, more so thoughts and opinions than what it is. And this person is saying, as good as it can be under the circumstances. Now, I believe X-Men 97, when it's all said and done, was a huge bait and switch from the get-go. We saw signs of it. People said, well, let's give it a shot. And then they watched it, and then we're kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. I mean, there's some stuff that was cool into it, but I saw through the lies. Okay, like, let's be real. I bashed this for having terrible animation. And when I mean by terrible animation, because a lot of people get butthurt when I criticize the animation, is that I don't care how nice and clean it looks. There is such flatness to it that there's no soul into it whatsoever. There's no passion into it. They're clearly utilizing 2D animation software with maybe being based on actual drawn like art concepts. But it's like your third-rate Archer. Third-rate Rick and Morty. I've said this plenty of times. It works if that's kind of like the style of the entire show, but people wanted like the old X-Men style. And that part of that means that you don't defeminize women, aka like Rogue. You don't fist in stupid DEI woke bullshit like Morph. No one asked for that. And to say that this continues right after the OG series is a joke. It's a laugh. There's clearly today's references in here. And I'm saying, and let me be clear, I only watched one episode, but that was enough for me. I might watch it just to see how bad it is. It's one of those where it's like you constantly see conflictions between like it being really bad or it being really good, or the lie of the mainstream media just saying this is the best thing ever, and you're like, really, let me see just what is so good about it. So I'm still bouncing around at that, but I wanted to check out this review. So this says deep breath. So, and this is probably going to be spoilers, which I'm not going to weep about. So how about we talk X-Men 97? How about we? What's with the or the chin hair? There's no easy way to broach the topic, but this discussion has been beckoning for a little while, and there's a lot of ground to cover. Admittedly, it is dawning as this sequel series is wrapped up in the current millennium. Wait, millennium? What the hell? Gosh, man, look, I'm already salty as it is. I'm not interested in learning words. More so of like just how to pronounce it. Milieu. Milieu apparently is what that is called. All right, milieu. There you go. Much like every Disney and Marvel production, everything from our youth is being changed and reappropriated for resale to a modern audience that isn't there. And that summons it right there. So why are we beating around the bush about this? This is what they're doing. We've seen what's become of the MCU as a result of how many fans are left jaded and cynical about new content, and ratings demonstrate that the dismissed X-Men 97 has nothing special. It's true. In the end, didn't do so hot. Don't get me wrong, the series isn't perfect. That's another thing too. I've heard so many people throw around it's a masterpiece, the same crap they do with The Last of Us Part 2, which will be another topic of discussion. They're not masterpieces. I'm so tired of that. Masterpiece means nothing now. Don't get me wrong, the series isn't perfect, but we all know by now it came with a fair share of behind the scenes drama involving showrunner Bo DeMayo. However, it feels like he tried his best to make the show good and appeal to a wider audience than Doctor Who does presently. But he went ahead and he verified that Morph was confessing feelings to Wolverine and Morph was made transgender. So I don't care if he was trying to make the show good and appeal. You changed aspects of the show that was never in the original OG series. And of course they, the critics will be like, oh, this is what it was all about to begin with. Like, fuck off. No, it wasn't. Like, no, it wasn't. You're looking for things that aren't there. And if they wanted to talk the topic, they would probably specifically talk about the topic. That's the other thing I noticed too, is they say it was about this all along, and then apparently there's like some deep, like secret hidden meaning behind it. You just gotta see it. And it's like, dude, it's X-Men. I don't deny a lot of the writers and the stories that they've created, but this pedestal they put this on about how it was some deep, like soul touching story that just shatters every reality that you ever knew and shatters your mind that you can physically not function for like months on end. Like, very rarely have I come across stuff that does that. I would say Ava, Neon Genesis Evangelion, does that better. So a lot of people, that pissed off a lot of people just because they didn't get it. But but anyway, don't get me wrong, the series isn't perfect. I already read that. You know the plot synopsis by now. Magneto takes over the X-Men, tries to lead them into a new age without Professor Xavier. The trouble is Magnus's worst fears come true, thereby driving him to a point of no return and dragging Charles back to Earth to lead his children of the atom. The real spark that sets everything off is the rise of Bastion, who, with his control over an army of Sentinels, carries out Operation Zero Tolerance. There you go. And wages an all-out bloody war on mutant kind. It's your usual boilerplate X-Men story with extra fixings of genocide and costlier battles. They give you a better idea of what a group of super-powered outcast sacrifices on a palpably human level. The original series was intense and heartfelt quite often. It was, but tame compared to where DeMayo took things since he had the liberty of dealing with streaming and premium channel standards, plus a mature target audience. And that's another thing right there, is that he had to pretty much do what the CEOs commanded. It could be the reason why he was fired. In the 90s, the ceilings for Saturday morning cartoons was TVY7, like PG and later PG-13 movies. It left some room for networks and shows to work with, as long as they stayed within the boundaries, but they had to be clever. X-Men 97, on the other hand, turns the knob to 11 and adds a fair amount of blood, death, murder, childbirth with sprinkles of suggestive situations. Okay, sounds good. But why the woke stuff? It also has a bare minimum of casual swearing, mostly from Wolverine. Okay. And the content, I mean, is it swearing just to swear? Is it like clever swearing? I also hate that too. Is when they swear just because they can. That like fuck has to be every fucking in every fucking sentence to fucking get the fucking point across, that fucking, like bullshit like that. Content is nowhere near the levels of HBO's R-rated Spawn series or some DCAU features, but there is a stark enough contrast between the update to 97 and its predecessor that will remind you how much can change in 30 years. Well, there you go. Animanium being ripped out by from Wolverine. There are woke bits and some additional diversity boxes checked, like Morph, but none of it detracts from the overall story or any of the subplots. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey, my kids are listening. Sorry. Not sorry. You know my show. But it doesn't matter. See, this is another thing too. Is that because it's in there, but it doesn't detract from the overall storyline, it should be okay? No, if it wasn't there in the beginning, why are you adding it now? That means that it didn't, that means the story could still be told without it being there. That's the same kind of bullshit logic that they pulled. What was it with Starfield, when people got really upset about like picking the pronouns, like they, them, and all that stuff. And then like counter people were like, you could just leave it as default because it defaults to like a male being he, him, and it doesn't take away from the story at all. So if you're saying that it was so minuscule, then it didn't need to be there to begin with. So the big question is, why was it put in there? And they know the answer, and they didn't want to answer it. Same thing with this. Morph's infatuation with Wolverine doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They bastardize friendship and says that like there has to be some sort of gayness to it. There has to be. As far as shipping goes, as the kids say, more time is devoted to a budding romance between Storm and Forge and a rekindle fling between Magneto and Rogue. The latter works well as the season progresses, as Rogue's loyalties are tested with the team on the brink. Show gets a lot of things right, including its fearsomely top-notch villains. Other than Magneto, who is more of an anti-hero, Sinister is creeping around again and played by the same actor as before, Christopher Britton. The evil genocidist is back in boss mode as if no time has passed at all. He is almost a red herring and is positioned at different points as the main villain. That's not the case, though. He continued to be a nefarious puppeteer in the lives of Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Cable. And Morph. I mean, Mr. Sinister straight up inserted false memories into Morph in the OG. No, the final boss and man Sinister ultimately served is Bastion. Voiced by Theo James from Divergent. He is one of the best villains Marvel's has introduced to TV and films in the last 5 years. What up, Edwin? Okay, who is Bastion? Sebastian Gilberter, known as Bastion, is the main antagonist. So, okay, he is a humanoid. I mean, is he literally just a made-up villain for X-Men 97? So far, I'm seeing that it is. So they couldn't even get like another OG, like an original X-Men character. Apparently, somehow, this guy and Nimrod are connected. Okay, whatever. Okay, I rate him as high as Thanos. Okay, I mean, he's got to be the way that this is building him up. When it comes to the level of threat and interest in the character, DeMaio, who goes as far as tying Bastian in with Xavier's search for students to become X-Men and Cable's mission to save the future, clearly does as well. However, like I said, the series isn't perfect, and there are a few things that bugged me. At times, for one thing, X-Men 97 felt less like a continuation and more of like a reimagining in its treatment for certain characters and plot threads. I'm just going to go ahead and say that that's probably the case. A lot of times it is because, again, these people can't add anything creatively new to anything. They have to take everything and bastardize it. Forge, played by this time by Gil Birmingham, is introduced as if he's a new addition with a clean slate whom Storm doesn't recognize. Though he spent most of his time with Bishop in the future, he made enough appearances in the present to fight alongside everyone else for this to be impossible. Okay, so already messed that up, apparently. Then there's Professor X, who's presumably dead because he was, quote, shot by Gyrick. Anyone who saw the original series final, which is on Disney Plus for the record, knows that that's not true. He had a mental overload and there was no gun. They also do some things just because they can, whether it's Wolverine losing his adamantium, Gambit making the ultimate sacrifice, adversaries popping in, or a certain apocalyptic foe cameoing for a season 2 setup. But these gripes were minor when X-Men 97 had me enthralled from start to finish with its action and various callbacks that made the series a setup from What If and everything else Marvel has produced lately. Again, because they're trying to connect everything to their version of how it needs to be. And I've heard people say like, oh, they took like the best elements from different plot points of different comments and like kind of tied them together. Isn't that kind of like what people bitched about with the Marvel movies as well? And that it became so convoluted and like wrapped around that it loses the point. All right, so the pros, animation style. Why is everyone saying the animation style is amazing? Dude, it sucks. Come on. I will fight. I will say that it's garbage through and through. And it's funny because there really shouldn't be any excuse for it to be, you know? And I've already complained about what I like. Maybe I could categorize it under just the art style, which I also think the style is garbage. But the animation, like, if if you're making it look this clean, then the animation needs to be clean. And I can tell you for certain that the animation at certain points, just from watching like the first episode, is not clean. Maybe it gets better along the way. Top flight voice acting. I wasn't really impressed by the voice acting. Modernized in a way that gets more right than wrong. Maybe. Few moments are pure nostalgia bait that wouldn't change anything if left out. I would also concur with the more modern take as well. The modern woke take doesn't need to be there. They really pushed the Magneto was right motive hard. Okay. Professor X is pretty useless, all things considered. All right. So overall, this person gave it a 4. I think normies are calling the show a win because it isn't absolutely giant sledgehammer smashing. These are comments you over the head with messaging, except for when it does. Example, Morph. That was ham-fisted. Rogue literally yells at Xavier. Disagree on many of your points. The series tries too hard, burns through too many plot holes. The main villain is somehow swayed by appealing to his humanity. The character models are hit and miss. Thank you. Certain character motivations are lazy writing. There are a few left field lectures where they belatedly confirm they meant mutants and Morph was just a slap in the face. Pat Gracie, I think captured everything that I would probably want to say the same thing if I saw the full series. Again, I only saw episode 1 and I'm still debating if I want to continue it. So I at least gave it a shot. People are overpraising the show. Exactly. They are overpraising it. And it's a question of, is this like one of the examples of we've been given so much garbage that anything that's like not pure shit, but just like crap, we deem is now like good? Because it's not outright terrible like most of the stuff Disney makes, but at best it's mediocre. At worst, it's a soulless cash grab, a series full of key jangling that'll sucker the normies. Sick of people who should know better trying to give the show a pass. Even if it's decent, Disney will make it worse. Look at that. Okay, everyone is saying the exact same thing about how I feel. So apparently people disagree with this article, and that's good. It's good to disagree. It's good to, you know, have difference of opinions and stuff. We just got to answer the real question. Like, this ain't a masterpiece. Again, the word masterpiece has lost its meaning, especially nowadays. But like, and the question is, who's responsible for making it lose the definition? And I got a pretty good idea who it is, who the majority of the people are. All right, so that was an X-Men 97 review. Pretty cool. Derp. Google employee reportedly behind a number of leaked Nintendo announcements. There you go, from Video Game Chronicle. The individual is said to have accessed private videos in Nintendo's YouTube content. Number of leaked Nintendo announcements originated from a Google employee who accessed private videos in the Switch maker's YouTube content. That's according to 404 Media, who has obtained an internal Google database tracking thousands of potential privacy and security issues reported by employees between 2013 and 2018. The include Google accidentally collecting voice data from children, leaking the journeys and home address of carpool users, and YouTube making recommendations based on video users had deleted from their history. I think this is supposed to say this includes Google accidentally collecting voice data. Accidentally collecting. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure accidentally. Accidentally. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Go yourself.
In one case, a Google employee is said to have accessed private videos in Nintendo's YouTube account and linked information ahead of the company's planned announcements. An internal interview came to the conclusion that the activity was non-intentional, according to the leaked report. At Google, employees can quickly flag potential products issues for review by the relevant teams, the company said in a statement to 404 Media. When an employee submits the flag, they suggest the priority level to the reviewer. The reports obtained by 404 are from over 6 years ago and are examples of these flags. Everyone was reviewed and resolved at that time. In some cases, these employees' flags turned out to not be issues at all, or were issues that employees found in third-party services. Nintendo recently confirmed that it will announce its next console this fiscal year, meaning the Switch's successor will be revealed before April 2025. There you go. Interesting. It's getting to the point where like anything with like a leak happened from Google and stuff, like I don't believe it. Or like no, let me take that back. I believe that when they say, "Oh, it accidentally happened," that's a lie. People leaking actual stuff because they're just tired of Google, that I do believe, because people have done that. But this one right here, accidentally collecting voice data from children, yeah, I don't believe that for a second. You sure as hell were listening in on that stuff. Oh, did I? No. I'll just pull this one up. I accidentally clicked out of that. Derp a derp. Derp a derp. Apparently, Xbox is updating its game box art. Guys, remember back in the day, like Sega Genesis game box? I think those are like my prime example of what video game cases should be and should return to, because it had everything in one. It had sweet cover art, that plastic case that would hold the game, the manual, which sometimes could have color into it, and you could just hang it like on the wall because it had the little tab. I miss those days. You could probably say that Sega Genesis was the one that really pushed it into like the more modern box art of how it is now. But man, I do miss that. I miss that so much. I mean, you can also say Nintendo and Super Nintendo as well, but people would rip up those boxes and stuff like that, so they would just like throw them away after a while. With Sega, you couldn't really do that unless you went out of your way to accidentally like break it. It's easier to rip cardboard than it is to rip like that plastic stuff. So retail listings suggest Microsoft may be planning to update the design for the Xbox Series X game boxes. Limited run games, Boo, listing for Clock Tower Rewind, picture above, features a new box art template, as does box art below from the newly announced Xbox version of Kenya Bridge of Spirits. Rather than listing the game's platform in black lettering on a white background, next to the Xbox logo on the top left of the box, the platforms are listed on the top right of the updating packaging in white lettering atop the large background art. So, whoosh. Microsoft is gearing up to present the Xbox Game Showcase, the first to include games across Activision's Blizzard, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios on June 9th. So here you go. Apparently, this is official. I mean, do I actually like near me? I mean, this is the old, like, I don't have any of the new Xbox Series X or Xbox One, but this is the old, this is like your Xbox One box. This is the Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I mean, I'm like comparing it here. Rating system still in the same area. They're spreading out the development. Again, this is Xbox One, so it might be different because I haven't gotten any of the new recent update stuff. So they're slapping. So they're just putting the symbol in the upper left and then what console it is in the upper right. All right. So kicking off at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 6 p.m. British Standard Time, I'm assuming. The showcase will reportedly be used to announce release dates for Xbox first-party lineup for the remainder of 2024. Bethesda is said to be targeting a September release for Starfield's Shattered Space expansion, which was recently given a fall launch window. Is anyone still playing Starfield? Activision is reportedly planning a late October release date for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which will receive its own direct presentation immediately following the main Xbox event. So Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, wait, that's further reading. Never mind. Oh, wait, no, wait a minute. I think that is part of it. Okay, so there's a Flight Simulator 2024, are reportedly likely to arrive in November, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is expected to follow in December. Last Indiana Jones game I played was the Super Nintendo one. What's up, Loki? And that was pretty good because it like combined all the films into one, kind of like your Super Star Wars. Those games are hard. I beat them with exploiting some cheats and some hacking. Those games are freaking hard. But I beat them. They were a bitch. So there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the new box art. I mean, cool, but nothing special. Like, go back to give us manuals again. So here's a controversial topic that people might like. Call of Duty gives away free Pride gift pack that includes transgender themed bullets and gun. Uh-oh. Activision Blizzard provided players of its Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone games with a free Pride gift pack that includes transgender-themed bullets and guns. Very retarded for many reasons. On the company's official website, it declares, here, can we even open this up? Take a gander. Wonder since this, like, it's been reported if they actually took it down. My gosh, this is a long. Yeah, this is, let me see. I'm just going to type in transgender. Okay, I'm not seeing it on the link here that the article is viewing. It declared Call of Duty is for everyone, and we're proud to celebrate Pride Month by offering 7 different weapon camo variants, each representing the colors of the different LGBT blah, 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 blah flags, available as a free gift pack. Find them in stores in a single bundle. It also shared various screenshots of the weapons where you can see below. Of course, not only is it the rainbow, but it's glittered. What's up, Chaos Smash? I forgot this month is June. It's okay to forget because they have to remind you, because apparently any month is LGBTQ some sort of, made up holiday or made up holiday month. It's every time. It's not just one month anymore. It's pretty much 12 months. They're pretty much trying to do it all year round. Ex-user Bob Network UK noted that the camos allows players to obtain transgender-themed bullets. There you go. Whoop. Ex-user Gustavo Cardenas corroborated that there are indeed transgender-themed bullets on one of the firearms. They ain't gonna like this. According to ex-user, this guy, one of the weapons, I mean, you can see their names, but whatever. I'm tired of reading their names. One of the weapons that allows players to use transgender-themed bullets, I think that's supposed to be is the M4 blueprint that players can acquire if they purchase Modern Warfare 3. There you go. There it is right there. Theme bullets are not new to Call of Duty, but transgender theme ones are, and many players and critics are crying foul. Ex-users 9mm posted SMG. Can a brother catch some slack? If you're still playing Call of Duty, stop. Oh, I stopped long ago. They introduced trans flag bullets to honor Pride Month. With the number of mass shootings involving trans non-binary people recently, it seems they have a motive. I did not say that. Don't be I did not say that, YouTube. I am simply reading it. And just to reiterate, YouTube, just
And this guy must be a fag.
don't be that. Don't be a fag. Ian Miles Chiang, I hate that guy. Well, I shouldn't say I hate him, but just like the dude. Wrote Activision's, for many reasons that people have already pointed out. I don't even bother with them. Activision's Call of Duty just added transgender bullets to the game in honor of Pride Month, so you can literally roleplay a transgender mass shooter. Gerp. So here is a meme that he probably stole, like apparently he always does. What is the last good Call of Duty game? I liked Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And then that's kind of where I stopped. I tried 3, tried Modern Warfare. And I stopped after that. Okay, so Grums, Modern Warfare 2019 Cold War is great. I did play a little bit of Cold War, but then once again stopped because my friends that I played with stopped. They should add ropes with the trans color so you can self-delete in the game. Oh my gosh, like the strain. Oh dear Lord. The strangling wire. Yeah, like a rainbow colored piano wire. To your enemies, of course, right? Because we're playing as the good guys, right? Isn't that how that works? Modern Warfare 2 don't play much and not getting Modern Warfare 3. Oh dear Lord. Ted Cruz got me good. Anyway. So Grum said, did you guys think this one through Activision Call of Duty? We just started Pride and we already have the worst virtue signaling of the year. Yeah, that is terrible. Terrible. If the news media actually covered what was happening with mass shootings, they would know, but they either don't know or don't care. It's the latter. Whoops. Did not mean to click at, but it is the latter. They don't care because it hurts their narrative. That's why. Means $74 for better online. Come on. If I were to play the Call of Duty games, it'd be only for the campaign. Even with the campaign, I stopped giving a crap. Maybe if my friends wanted to play Nazi zombies, we would. Do they even do that anymore? Is that now offensive too? Even though you're literally murking zombies, that wearing that Führer's badge, that Führer's arm badge. The quarterings. Well, I need more Norm Macdonald clips. Hold the fort. I just have the
Captain Steve's a fucking horse.
I mean, it doesn't have to do with that Hitler fella. But it is a Norm Macdonald clip. Okay, Quartering commented on it. So everyone's everyone is in this article is pointing out the fact that Activision and Call of Duty. Really? Is there actually a company called Call of Duty, or is it just Activision who makes Call of Duty? Anyway, regardless, very terrible idea and fucking stupid. Oh, great, the quartering. I don't know. I'm indifferent. A YouTuber, Endymion. Oh, Endymion is I like him. I've been seeing him on some flashcasts. Companies are celebrating Pride Month, and Call of Duty adds Pride skins. They cover your bullets too. What do you think? Okay, yeah, this is just a lot of people pointing out the fact of right there. The Audrey Hale bundle includes. Oh my gosh, the Audrey Hale operator update. Oh yes, here's someone going ham with it. What do you make of Activision Blizzard supplying players with transgender-themed bullets and Pride-themed weapons? Retarded, because if any of the enemies and the opponents of these people would do the opposite, would do the same, or would do the same thing, their heads would be spurting out liberal tears from how butthurt they would be from it. So 5 out of 5 this article rating this is from That Park Place. Apparently another place that people say is a bad source of misinformation. Let's check out the comments. We could be the first to comment, but we're not going to do that because I'm commenting right now. So yeah, I mean, this is really self-explanatory. Activision and Call of Duty are morons. And what they should do is stop catering and just make good games. The Rock said it best.
Shut up, bitch!
And then, meanwhile, Activision and Call of Duty, they're probably like,
oh, fudge. Does anyone want some? Got nuts in it.
oh, dear Lord Almighty. I'm sure you are enraged. I mean, the good Lord's mad about a lot of things. And when he comes back, he will unleash the fury on many a people. So says the scripture. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I honestly, aside from playing rando clips. I have not, like, everyone has said exactly what everyone's thinking and exactly how retarded Activision and Call of Duty are for literally not thinking about this. Now, I'll probably say that they're going to feign ignorance and said, "Whoops, we didn't really mean to. We were just trying, XYZ." I think they actually knew what they were doing, and they don't care. Old rock, maybe. Current rock, absolutely not. Well, yeah, I mean, old school rock, and not the movie. OG rock, the rock, I guess I should say. All right, so that was a fun topic, right? Right. And boy, oh boy, we just can't get enough of Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dogs. Because apparently Naughty Dogs is working on multiple single-player games, says Neil Cuckman. So Naughty Dog head and The Last of Us creator Neil Druckmann is back in the news, teasing what's to come for the studio, and apparently there are multiple projects in the works. All right, so he already cried because Sony apparently misquoted him. Well, I guess they admitted that they did, that they heavily edited the interview. I think it's funny. I think they personally weren't trying to, but they just went ahead and did it anyway. And then Neil weeped about it, and they were like, "Oh no, we're sorry, we're still good friends." Thought he said he'd go away from games. Oh, that's the irony of it. Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah, I read an article that straight up said he's pretty much like getting to the limit of the games that he wants to produce. But now apparently he has multiple ones running through that old noggin of his. So now in an interview with the LA Times published over the weekend, Druckmann said that he doesn't expect Naughty Dog to continue being the Last of Us studios forever. Instead, he discussed what. Okay. Game news journals out there, like Bounding into Comics, Video Game Chronicle. Who wrote this? Digital Trends. I cannot tell you how many spelling errors I come across and grammatical errors. Like, this is insane. And this is someone who's already pretty bad at reading at grammar. And I guess I should say reading too at times, but I'll hide behind my my dyslexia on that one. But guys, I'm here. I don't care what you believe in. In fact, I would still like proofread your shit if you paid me well enough. I'll giggle at the articles and be like, wow, this is like, if it's like some woke piece of garbage, I'd be like, wow, this is gay. But oh my gosh, the spelling error. You know what? I'll laugh at it, fix it. How many times have I come across like these articles with like spelling errors? Dude, I did exposition, what is it? Expose writing back in high school. Dude, terrible at it. Not the best grammatical person, not the best speller person. Although, ironically, my mom was specialized in reading education, so she's really good with grammar and spelling. But holy crap, you're not hiding behind the dyslexia; it's grafted to your face. Well, it's my brain running 1,000 miles an hour and just like flipping everything. Anyway. Okay, where's that bad spelling error to get back on track here? Yeah, here we go. Disgust. I should just start reading it like how they typed it. How the team is working on multiple single player projects, which is kind of what I do already. But anyway, the interview doesn't go into detail about whether these games are in development or just concepts. The short feature also describes how Druckmann had the idea for The Last of Us while in college and had initially wanted to be a graphic novel. He was able to work on his idea after going to ex-Naughty Dog co-president Evan Wells and asked to be taken off a Jack and Dexter project. I like Jack and Dexter. I still need to beat 2 and 3. While it's unclear what Naughty Dog's next announced project will be, it recently canceled its The Last of Us online multiplayer game after years of development. Ooh, wah, wah, wah. Druckmann has done a lot anticipation building. While it's unclear what Naughty Dog's next announcement project will be, it recently canceled multiplayer after years of development, Drunkman has done a lot anticipating building. Has done a lot of anticipation building? Holy crap. What is going on? And I'm hoping people see it. Like, am I the only retard here? Like, you can go ahead and answer that question because we already know it's yes. But oh my gosh. This is insane. Insane. Well, a recent Sony interview where he talked about the future of video game development at Naughty Dog was eventually retracted for misquotes. Misquotes? Misquotations? Is it? I mean, misquotes could be acceptable in this, but to me, it just flows better if you retract it for misquotations. Well, maybe it is misquotes now that I think about it. I'm actually looking for grammatic and spelling error, which is bad because I'll be, I'll probably see things that aren't there. He posted one of his unredacted answers on X, formerly Twitter, reflecting on how he's excited about an upcoming studio title. So I'm not only excited for this game that we're making, and it's something really fresh for us, but I'm also can't you just like redact out like the double it's anyway, but I'm also excited to see how the world reacts to it, he wrote. Because of The Last of Us and the success of the show, people even outside of gaming are looking at us to see what it is that we put out next. People? No. Naughty Dog simps? Yes. The average gamer? Not what after what you did to The Last of Us Part 2? No. People even outside of gaming are looking at us to see what we put out next. I'm very excited to see what the reaction for this thing will be, and I've already said too much about it. I know you need to say like less stuff, like non-existent stuff, as in you just need to shut up, as far as I'm concerned. Saw Sauce Tendencies video of Cuckman's journey. It was pathetic. Don't forget normies. Dude, normies do not care about this. We also know that as of May 2023, the studio has been worked on a brand new single player experience as part of its project list. So whatever it is, rest assured that Naughty Dog is working on something. That's pretty much the I actually did have this one pulled up. We can read about this one. That was kind of the articles I have here, but we have some time. Super Mario Land, awesome game. So apparently the Switch just quietly released the most innovative or inventive. Oh my gosh. See, look at me. I'm inserting letters inside of words to say something different. Like it's like when people say wash when it's wash, like that's not even like an accent sort of thing. You're straight up inserting a letter into it. What the fuck is wash? Grab that washcloth. Worcestershire sauce? Worcestershire sauce? Oh man, can't even say Worcestershire sauce. There you go. Mario runs past this low sloping pyramids of hieroglyphics, streets, catacombs of ancient Egypt. That's just how you start off the article? Who wrote this? This is from Inverse, and this is Ashley Bardhand. I saw Andrew talking about fun stuff. It was a breath of fresh air over the Ricada thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Ricada thing is insane. It's a far cry from the Mushroom Kingdom. This is a terrible opening. Mario runs past. Like, what are you talking about? It's like you're just reading. Like, you could have thrown in something like, remember when Mario runs past the low sloping pyramids of hieroglyphic street catacombs of ancient Egypt? ? It's a far cry from the Mushroom Kingdom. See, should have made that a question, not just a weird open statement. It's like Biden when he's reading his notes. Mario runs past the sloping pyramids of hieroglyphic streak, catacombs of ancient Egypt. Pause. Meh, the ROM hacking has added color and updated character models. Yeah. I think I might have played the ROM hacked version, but yeah. But anyway, so this person says it's a far cry from the Mushroom Kingdom, but not out of place in a game that takes the adventurous plumber to Easter Island, where they have Passover and celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Christ, through bamboo forest and even into the cloudy night sky, dappled with perfect stars. Playing through this sometimes forgotten detour in the Nintendo franchise made me realize something. There are few Mario games as creative and transportive as this. Well, now we're getting into an opinion piece, and I am not seeing this labeled as an opinion piece. It's a 3-minute read, but I thought this was more like some interesting news. Just in time for the 35th anniversary of the Game Boy, Super Mario Land has made it to the Nintendo Switch Online. It's a perfect homage to the original and will scratch the itch of nostalgia for any who remember sitting on the couch, Game Boy in hand, jumping, one-upping, dodging, etc. The gameplay and visuals are functionally identical to the way they originally appeared on the Game Boy. Through a green-colored screen, you take Mario around the alien world, Sarasaland. Sarasaland. I almost want to say Salsa Land. You cross ancient deserts. It's a fucking 8-bit Game Boy game. Gameplay and visuals are functionally identical to the way they originally appeared on the Game Boy. No shit. I thought it would be I thought it would just the minute you started up your Switch exploded. Wouldn't that be a nice twist of a game added to the Nintendo Online? Through a okay, I already read that. Cross ancient deserts and island waterfalls in pursuit of super mushrooms and the helpless damsel, Princess Daisy, who made her series debut in this game. In its faithful port, Nintendo has totally retained Super Mario Land's majesty. Did they really? There's been some ports done by Nintendo, and they are garbage compared to like the ROM dumps people have done online. So there you go. Apparently, we're getting Alleyway, Super Mario Land, and Baseball. Majesty might seem too indulgent of a word to dedicate to an 8-bit monochrome platformer, but even 35 years after its release, Super Mario Land delivers. I mean, it's a fun game. Yeah, I would recommend it. I definitely like what you said, Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer. Get a ROM hack. Get that nice colors, updated models. This was the first. I need to stop saying too. I need to work on that. I need to work on my presentation. This was the first Mario game made without series creator Shigeru Miyamoto. So director Satoru Okada, or Satoru Okada, did take some liberties, like abandoning the vast Mushroom Kingdom and swapping Peach for Daisy. While previous Mario games had established the series as an alternative universe with its own set of problems, a prickly guy like Bowser was always bound to get in your way. Super Mario Land is a more realistic portal. What is that even? What? Not really? I don't know what she means by that. While the game is technically set in the fictional Sarasaland, which Nintendo has rarely ever revisited since, its 12 levels present themselves like you're leafing through a leather-bound adventure book. Switch port's a testament to the fact that a video game doesn't need to look lifelike as long as it's evocative. The game's logic works in dreamlike ways. Hop on the bouncing boulder to find safe passage over the brigade of upturned spikes, stomp on the lizards before it spits a pinball at you. Switch itself offers alternative answers if you're looking for them. As in the case with all Nintendo Online ports, you can press ZL and ZR simultaneously in order to rewind your game session frame by frame. This built-in save scumming prevents you from feeling like you ever have to be too precautious about how you play Super Mario Land. Now, some games, that's the whole point. and defeats the purpose. Now, if we're talking like fast forwarding, like in Pokemon, where you know, if you use the emulator, you can zip through and walking to get more random encounters quicker. Like that's it. Sarasaland is not even an alien world. It's a kingdom on the same planet as the Mushroom Kingdom. This woman is pissing you off. You can strive for an ambitious jump to the tallest door in the level. Not that hard to do. Like this person's making it like it's really difficult. It's really not. Which triggers its end without worrying about what will happen if you lose a few Mario lives in the process. But there's a benefit in keeping your Super Mario Land game unaltered too. Increases the challenge level of the game's perilous platforming, and it better reflects the game's ethos. Since Super Mario, you made up all that just so you could say that, oh yeah, you can rewind your game. Oh my gosh. Anyway, since Super Mario Land makes you continuously brave treacherous terrain only to discover that Daisy is farther away from you than you thought, the game seems to encourage perseverance for your own sake. Wouldn't any game do that? Or that's the point of the game, actually, is to persevere just because you want to succeed it. Like when you get to a game, like when I played The Last of Us Part 2, where I said, fuck it, I'm too deep into this. I just want to get through this just because out of hatred. Way different. But ultimately, whichever way you choose to experience Super Mario Land, you won't regret returning to one of the oddest entries in Nintendo's most iconic saga. She keeps saying this is such odd, but then she throws in like this more realistic portal, which is contradictory to what you're trying to showcase on how unique and odd it is, but then literally go, oh yeah, it's like a realistic portal. Like defeats the purpose. Defeats the purpose. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my god. It's goosebumps. Well, that was fun, I guess. That was an interesting read. And that, I mean, that's pretty much all I had for today. I think that's pretty funny. I mean, Rana, even though I do not like MSN, I do like the fact how they have gaming stuff that you can at least kind of find some interesting stuff that made you want to cry. It made me hungry. Any other any other games information in here that we could check out? Apparently, there's what not to expect at Summer Game Fest Live, according to Geoff Cayley. Is that the guy who made they dropped a trailer for Metal Slug Tactics Japanese game? Yeah, I saw that. It's like one to me, it looks like one of your like what Fire Emblems or Defense Tower or something like that. To me, Metal Slug is, you know, your run and gun. What's not to okay. So after an amazing 2023, zero chance Ashley is a gamer. She probably used Chat GPT to write that article. Very well true. Very well true. Now you can use Chat GPT to enhance your articles, but you got to rewrite it like a couple times and read it out loud. Like some of my scripts that I'm working on, I use Chat GPT, but I read it out loud and then go, well, that doesn't sound right. Final Fantasy Tactics. All right, so I guess this is the guy right here. So during the stream, okay, according to this, Summer Game Fest Live, Summer Game Fest hosts Geoff himself wants to keep expectations at a moderate level, but apparently he made a huge announcement, and you're in for some disappointment. It's not really one of those shows, explained Keeley in a recent stream about the upcoming show. Our shows don't typically have that. There will be definitely new announcements, but the show is largely focused on, I think, existing games that have new updates for fan. Exactly what people have been asking not to have. Like they want like new games, like new interesting original games, and then you just censor it like, Stellar Blade. Oh, he's the guy that hosts the Game Awards. Just goes to show how much I don't watch it. During the stream, he confirmed a few titles that will be absent during the show. This means that the following list are some of the games that fans should not expect in any way, shape, or form during the event, but could still appear in another of the many game conferences set to take place. Oh, gosh. Pause that video. I don't not want to see that guy like smiling at me. We'll scroll up a little bit. The list of games the host confirmed are these. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Yeah, that got postponed, I read, to 2025, possibly beginning of the month or year. Kingdom Hearts 4. Okay. Wolf Among Us 2. Judas. Do you just go around like collecting pieces of silver and then throwing it back at the priests when you weep because you shed innocent blood? And any future Five Nights at Freddy games. I don't see the article. Oh, you don't? Oh. Whoops. There you go. Here it is. There's Snake. There's some hot girl. There's this weirdo smiling at me. Here's the list of games. So later on, he explained that he believes SGF is mainly aimed at giving updates about already announced games, while leaving huge announcements for his other big yearly event, the Game Awards. Game Awards has a lot of usually big surprises. We're thankful for those. Okay. So it sounds like, okay, I mean, that's pretty much it. So if you guys were looking for updates about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Kingdom Hearts 4, The Wolf Among Us 2, and Judas, or any future Five Nights at Freddy's, not gonna cover them. That's more of the Game Awards, I suppose, for teasers. There definitely are things that are being announced, but this is not a show that is a lot of like coming in 2026 or 27 or teasers for games that are years and years out. That's generally what I would say in terms of expectation settings. All right, so there you go. All righty. Now, that is all I had for us. So thanks for hanging out hanging out with me, guys. You can bet that MGS Delta is going to be ruined. I really hope not. Because I wouldn't mind getting that game. But then again, I have subsistence. I have the PS2 version. So just emulate it, crank those graphics up, and there you go. I'm satisfied. But thanks to everyone who hung out with me. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new, if you enjoyed the show. And make sure to turn on notifications to get notified when I go live, whether that's on YouTube, Rumble, or X. That's what we were on today. And then in those platforms on YouTube and Rumble, you can find more of my social media in the description below. And on X, you can find my link tree link in my bio. And of course, if you feel like you want to support the channel beyond just pushing the algorithms, go ahead and check out the membership and subscription tiers. I am humbled and thankful and blessed in any sort of support. We are slowly growing. Think we're doing a lot better, but always trying to give you guys good content. All right, who is online that we can redirect? Derp. Let's see. Right now, I'm only seeing Camelot. Oh, Tug is on. Here's what we'll do. We'll do that umbrella guy for YouTube, and we'll raid DSP. I do not follow DSP. What would I get in return if I raided DSP? What would I get? Probably nothing. All right. And we'll do Cam on Rumble. All right. What? Different viewpoints, different opinions on stuff. So a good variety. So there you guys go. Check them out, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Take care. God bless. Peace.